What's up, life designers? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Doug Womack and I'm a therapist who specializes in helping people to recover from narcissistic abuse and childhood trauma. Now, if you're struggling with narcissists yourself, please follow this channel so you can learn more about the journey. So today we are looking at how to become resistant to narcissists, how to become narcissist proof. So you might know those people who just seem to go through life and narcissists can come into their world, but it just goes over their head. Like, it doesn't matter what the narcissists do. These people are not an expert in narcissism at all, but they just have a way of dealing with narcissists. And narcissists know this, and narcissists leave them alone. And that's the secret when we're dealing with a narcissist. We want to become the sort of person that a narcissist says to themselves, I spot that person. That person's going to be difficult. Because when you think about predators in the wild, who do the predators go after? They go for the weak ones at the back. So we need to stand up tall and show that we are not the weak ones. We need to show the narcissist that they are picking with the wrong person. And there's ways to do that that don't mean you've got to be aggressive, don't mean you've got to be violent or any of that kind of stuff. And we're going to run through those ways right now. Now, the first one is stoicism. They're stoic. These type of people who can deal with narcissists, they act very stoic. And what does this mean? This means that when a problem arises in the world, they just say, oh, well, I can't deal with it. That's not my, I can't control it. Nothing I can do about it. It is just a problem. So they leave that problem to someone who can deal with it. And then when problems do come into their world that they can deal with, they're like, oh, cool, here's the problem that I can deal with. They're basically just letting go of things that they can't control. And a narcissist behavior are one of those things. So when they bump into a narcissist, they'll be like, okay, I can't stop the narcissist being like this. I can't stop them being rude. I can't stop them being entitled. I can't stop them trying to treat people in a certain way. But what I can do is I can move out of the way. I can walk away. I can just forget about them. I can just put my mind somewhere else. And this might seem like, well, how do you do that when you're in a relationship with a narcissist? Well, some people do. And the truth is, because this person is acting like that, the narcissist doesn't get their supply. When the narcissist isn't getting their supply, they move on. So it actually becomes easier by being that way. Now, some people are afraid to do this because they think, I need to say something, I need to do something, because otherwise I'm going to be used and abused the way I was when I was younger, and my parents always told me to do stuff. But that in itself is creating more energy. That in itself is giving more energy to the narcissist. So, second way is to be more assertive. Now, this might sound like quite a scary thing to do, but actually being assertive just means that you're giving yourself permission to say what matters. So you can just say, I'm off, I'm doing this is what I want to do. So it's just putting yourself first. Now, I know a lot of people are afraid to be assertive because they're afraid that they might hurt someone. And when it's a narcissist, if you hurt the narcissist, they are likely to react. But what this doesn't mean is you don't have to be assertive the same way with different people. With someone, if you know that they're very sensitive, if you know that your narcissist could be sensitive because you're changing the way you talk to them, and it's going to be a new you, if for instance, there's a new version of you that they're now dealing with. So when you say, no, I can't do that, this is going to upset them, you can say it in a way that means you're still being assertive, but it's less likely to upset them. So for instance, you could say, well, thank you for offering me that opportunity, but it's not something I'm ready for right now. Or you could say, you know what, if you'd ask me tomorrow, I probably will say yes. Today is not the day. Right? So you're still being assertive. This is what I want. This is my needs. And I'm going to stick with that. But I'm not going to be rude. I'm not trying to be a bully. There's a thin line. Between being a bully and then on the other side of the scale, there's being assertive. So being assertive doesn't mean that you're tapping into, the bully part of you. Next up, we have just being confident. Literally being confident. And this can be, just the way you walk. They've done studies where they've shown that people who are looking psychopaths, for instance, who are looking to find a victim and they show them videos of where they walk, they choose the one who walks with a slight limp. They choose the one who's got their head down and not looking up. They choose the one who's got their headphones in and is in another world. They choose the one who just looks kind of like, hiding from the world. They don't choose the one who's like, hey, here I am, look at me, right? He's like walking along, tall, got the head up, viewing the situation, whistling, just confident, just smiling, right? They don't choose that one. They choose the one who looks the weakest. Now, a good example of this is if you think of a teacher, right? When you have a supply teacher come in, when you're at school, the naughty kids, they would try and pick on the supply teacher. They would go to the supply teacher and they'll say miss, and they'll say all sorts of rude stuff to the new teacher, trying to pick her weaknesses. But when that teacher, the other teacher comes back, kids behave themselves again. Why? This is because one teacher is like, oh, first day, new kids, I'm not sure what to do. How do I make everyone happy? How do I make everyone like me? And the other teacher is going in, going, right, I'm in charge, sit down or you're in detention, right? It makes a difference how you come across and what you believe, because what you believe, they pick up on it and that becomes what they believe, and that's how they end up treating you. So next up we have self-awareness. Someone who is resistant to narcissists, someone who is narcissist proof, knows who they are. They know their self-awareness. Yeah, they know that they can handle certain situations, and they know that they don't like other situations. So when a situation arises, when you have someone who's being narcissistic in the many ways that someone can be narcissistic, they find a way to just deal with it because they understand that they can. And they also understand that they can walk away. They understand that they can speak to a narcissist. They also understand that they can choose not to speak to a narcissist. They have that self-awareness to know what their limits are and know that whatever the narcissist says to them, they know that as long as the narcissist doesn't push them further than this barrier, doesn't go over the top, doesn't push their boundary too far, they know that they can still be themselves because they're very centered in themselves. They're very grounded. They know exactly who they are. They know exactly what they want. They know their purpose. They know their meaning to their life. And they know what matters. And they know that if someone says negative things to them, it's just like me saying to you, oh, I don't like the fact that you have green hair. I don't like the fact that you have pink hair. It doesn't bother you unless you have those color hairs. And you think I'm talking to you. If you think I'm talking to someone else, it doesn't bother you because they're not taking it personal. Which brings us to the last one. Don't personalize it. Someone who doesn't struggle dealing with narcissists, they don't personalize it. If the narcissist says something about their hair, whatever. If the narcissist, decides not to turn up to the Christmas meal, they don't personalize it. If the narcissist decides to call them an asshole, they don't personalize it. It does not matter. This is just them being them. Okay, they're just like, again, it all interlinks, all these kind of things. All of them together make someone a very rounded, grounded, and ready to deal with the narcissist kind of person. And if you want to be like this, then start looking at ways you can. Start looking at who you are. Start looking at ways that you can use some of your skills that you use in other parts of your life to become one with narcissists. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and let us know in the comments what you found works when you're dealing with narcissists, how you manage to survive, help some of the other members of our tribe to help themselves dealing with narcissists. And I'll see you on the next video.